It starts with fully documenting your processes, and then understanding the use case. And the use case is hard to understand unless you have a documented process because AI requires structured data.
From an external standpoint, that's where you become the AI specialist. And, if you go through a process of documenting your own internal systems and what you want AI to produce, you can turn around and take that to your customers and basically sit down with them and have a business conversation about what are you doing in your business that is repetitive and could lend itself to an agentic, AI type process, and turn that into basically monetize it. Now, on a larger scale enterprise, I've got one client that actually is looking at licensing an open AI model. If you don't have a good documentation on the process or processes, there's no way that you're going to be able to effectively utilize AI, because if you don't have a process that's documented, you can't really leverage AI to its fullest extent.
Welcome to AI by Design podcast. Brings MSP leaders into real, unscripted conversations about innovation that actually works. Hosted by Sunny Kaila, it's focused on turning AI into measurable business impact.
What are the use cases where you are using AI internally? Or so if I'm an MSP listening to this, I'm looking for two things. One, what's working, not working internally for my MSP? Like how can I leverage AI to be more efficient as a business? How can I do this? But what do I need to do internally as a MSP? And what need to do externally for my customers?
Yeah. Internally, we use AI for, in various different levels. We use it, one, from a customer sentiment aspect, so as a tech is on a phone call, we can coach them and give them feedback as they're on a phone call, and potentially give them additional information on troubleshooting stuff, things like that. Because that's one of the things, my goal is to get stuff closed in the first call. And, there's a lot of issues that can be resolved on a first call basis. And with the assistance of AI and the knowledge bases and stuff that, we integrate in, it becomes a much quicker resolution time with AI internally. From that standpoint, we also use it for ticket QA, so ensuring that basically the techs made sure that time was entered with the customer, the customer calls were documented properly, and, things like that, because techs are one of the worst when it comes to documentation. You know that as well as I do. They try to shortcut anything that they can, and it's, AI can help fill that gap and create, some of the notes for them based on the conversation. It basically, ensures that we get the information that we need as an MSP owner, and, operations, that all that information is gathered and analyzed, and basically we can help coach techs and bring them up to speed a little bit quicker as well. So,
and if I'm MSP listening to this, so what I'm hearing you say is that from QA to the first call resolution, that is really, really important for the customer experience. So you're using AI to enhance your customer experience by being more efficient with the first call resolution, to giving information to your team members who are resolving these tickets in a more efficient way. And obviously the impact there will be GP, or better GP, better run operation, better customer experience, better employee experience. Now, your specialty is security as well. What is your advice to MSPs when they're thinking of adopting? It could be QA, it could be L1 tickets resolution with AI. Security first before AI first. When you look at things with that lens, what is your advice to them? How to do this with a lot more security first in mind?
Well, one of the things that we do is before we feed the stuff to AI, depending on what it is, we make sure that it's redacted. The PII, any PII information, usernames, passwords, one, they're never fed, basically, we use a private instance in ChatGPT and Azure to do that. But we also redact the information that flows over to AI instance before it ever gets there as well. So that's one of the things that we do to help ensure that there's no security. It's also, we use a couple of different products, internally as well to basically look for PII that's in our systems and make sure that one, we know where, when I say PII, I'm not talking about social security numbers. I'm not talking about, because normally that's not stuff that we store, but, company email addresses, cell phone numbers, and things like that we use for verification. That stuff the AI models really don't need. There's really no reason for it. So that's stuff that we make sure gets all pulled out of the ticket information that gets sent over. We just try to keep it any of the PII information, ticket, information in general is pretty standardized. But anything to do with emails, usernames, that stuff gets cleansed before it's ever fed into the AI models. So,
and when you look at external, your customer facing, Dean, what kind of demand are you seeing when it comes to customers asking you for AI related help? So when we think about AI managed services, what are you seeing? What are you doing to help your customers?
Well, one of the things that, and I'm not trying to plug any particular platform by any means, but, one of the things that we use from a customer facing aspect to keep, is a platform called Hats AI, which you probably have heard of. That product and platform is inherently designed to keep any customer data, internalized, compartmentalized, and basically ensures that the models don't train off of it. But from that standpoint, it's from a prompting, it gives us the ability to help them write prompts and stuff as well, and workflows from an agent standpoint. The call interception stuff works well as well. There's some things I like to see work a little better from on that platform, but it's the reason I kind of use a custom solution for our call stuff, but it works well. And my experience with it, from a client standpoint has been very positive. So, it allows them to use basically any of the LLM models that are out there and they can be restricted to certain ones if they want to restrict it. So, the adoption, and people are looking for, to use AI in a lot of different ways. And this just gives them a platform that, one, I can help guide them and ensure that their data stays internal. And, from that standpoint, it gives them a little bit more security than what they would have. Now, on a larger scale enterprise, I've got one client that actually is looking at licensing an open AI model, internally for use, and kind of working with them to guide them through that process is, it's an interesting feat because they're a large retailer and they want to develop it and put it into their demand forecast and stuff like that for stocking and resales, sales and, statistics and things like that. So it's, I see both ends of the spectrum, the small to medium sized businesses, as well as a larger enterprise level. So, and the models are going to, differ, but you still have the same issues. What are you going to feed those models and make sure that it's, secure and safe so that you're not giving away your data for somebody else to run with.
People who are listening to this, if they want to take one action internally as a MSP to leverage AI for internal use, what's your actionable advice to them where they should focus and what they should do? And one external piece of advice that if they want to monetize AI, they want to do more for their customers where they're able to build a new MRR with AI. So what action they can take today? So one action internal and one action external.
Well, and this actually applies in both cases, internal as well as external. Understanding the business and understanding the use case, but documenting your use case of, it's similar to automation. If you don't have a good documentation on your process or processes, there's no way that you're going to be able to effectively utilize AI, because if you don't have a process that's documented, you can't really, leverage AI to its fullest extent when you're just, if all you're looking to do is basically, how do I fix this? Okay, that's one thing. But if you're looking to automate a process in your system with AI, if that process is not documented and, all of your outcomes potentially are, documented, then you can't really leverage AI to its fullest extent because you have to be able to customize those prompts and stuff in order to come up with predictable results. So, understanding your use case is probably one of the biggest things that I would say, and fully documenting your processes for that use case is one of the biggest things I can say for either internal or external. Now, monetizing it is, from an external standpoint, that's where you become the AI specialist. And, if you go through a process of documenting your own internal systems and what you want AI to produce, you can turn around and take that to your customers and basically sit down with them and have a business conversation about what are you doing in your business that is repetitive and could lend itself to an agentic, AI type process, and turn that into basically monetize it. You can turn that into a service, whether it's building it with NAN, building it on a HAS platform, building it, in some other, platform. But that's the start. If you don't understand the use case, then, where do you go from there?
Yeah, no, it starts with fully documenting your processes, and then understanding the use case. And the use case is hard to understand unless you have a documented process, because AI requires structured data. If you're going to pull data, you're going to push data, you're going to talk to AI, it will require well-structured data. And without that, you will not be able to effectively leverage AI systems. And so that's a great advice, Dean, that start with really understanding your data, really understanding that if you have a use case, you identify a list of use cases, where the data is going to come from. Is that data structured? And if not, let's take action to make sure that we understand our data and the data will be accurate. Otherwise, garbage in, garbage out, and you won't want that, right?
The age-old adage of garbage in, garbage out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that. That is the number. So if you're MSP or you're SMB, you want to leverage AI to either improve your productivity or the quality or the speed, or you want to buy back time by using AI. Where it starts is really understanding your business data and then understanding use cases. And once you understand the use case and you know where that data is, and then you can make it AI optimized data with RAG and everything, and that's where everything starts. That's a great advice, Dean. Thank you for joining. And where can people find you online if they want to reach out to you?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. Let's put it this way. LinkedIn, I'm fairly easy to find. Facebook, I'm sure that I can be found on Facebook as well. Our website is argentumit.com, and I'm not too hard to find, If you do a search for me, my name, I pop up all over the place. So
yeah, and what's the best way for people to buy your book?
Amazon, just maximizing business potential with AI. It's available in Kindle format as well as paperback. The Kindle version is obviously considerably cheaper because there's not a whole lot of publishing cost there. So it's there. So, and whatever the proceeds are left over after the publishers take their cut, go to St. Jude. So it's that's where, that's part of our giving back to the community. So
that's awesome. Thank you for being that go-giver. Appreciate your partnership. And thank you so much for investing your time and sharing what's working, what's not working, and your insights and actionable advice for our friends who are watching this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sunny. I appreciate the time and offer to, joining you. So Look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you for watching the AI by Design podcast. Stay tuned for more conversations at the intersection of AI, leadership, and innovation. Follow us on our channels, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.